We had been pretending it was temporary. That was the word everyone used when my sister moved in. Temporary, as if saying it often enough would keep it true. Temporary while she figured things out. Temporary while the divorce papers finished moving through the system. Temporary while she caught her breath. My house adjusted around her. Shoes multiplied by the door. The fridge filled faster. My son learned to ask before turning the TV on, learned to share space that had been quiet before. I told myself this was what families did. We absorbed each other until things settled. Dinner that night was supposed to be ordinary. Pasta salad, the kind of meal you make when you want everyone to eat without comment. My mother was visiting, perched at the end of the table like an overseer who believed her presence smoothed things simply by existing. My sister had been sharp all evening, little cuts disguised as observations. About my son's bedtime, about the way I let him choose his own clothes, about how he needed more structure. I nodded, redirected, changed the subject. He sat across from her, quietly twirling noodles around his fork, trying to be invisible in the way children learn to be when adults are tense. He's thoughtful, sensitive. The kind of kid who notices tone before content. When she said it, she didn't shout. She leaned back, glass in hand, eyes flicking from me to him, and said, maybe if your kid had a real father, he wouldn't be so off. The word hung there unfinished, heavy with implication. My son's fork paused. He looked down at his plate, his shoulders curved inward, like he was folding himself smaller to fit the space he'd been assigned. Something in me clicked, not flared, clicked. A mechanism engaging. I set my glass down. The sound was soft but deliberate, a punctuation mark. Maybe, I said, evenly, if your husband hadn't left, you wouldn't be living in my guest room. She inhaled at the exact wrong moment. Her drink went the wrong way. She coughed hard, hand flying to her mouth, eyes wide with shock more than pain. My mother hissed my name like a warning. Don't do this? But I already was. The table had gone still. No forks, no chewing, just the low hum of the refrigerator and my sister trying to recover her breath. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't look at my sister again. I looked at my mother. We're not talking about my child like that in his own house, I said. Not ever. My sister found her voice first. Wow, she said hoarsely. That's cruel. What you said was cruel, I replied. What I said was accurate. My mother tried to intervene the way she always did, by smoothing over the injury without addressing it. Everyone's under a lot of stress, she said. You didn't have to. I did, I said, because he heard it. I reached across the table and rested my hand on my son's shoulder. He didn't look up, but he leaned into the contact just a little. I'm sorry. My sister said, too fast. I didn't mean it like that. I believed murder. It doesn't repair impact, I said. And apologies don't undo patterns. She bristled at that. Patterns. She snapped. You're acting like I'm some kind of monster. I'm acting like this isn't the first time, I said. My mother opened her mouth again, then closed it. For once, she had no easy phrase ready. I stood and began clearing plates. Not because the meal was over, but because I needed my hands to do something steady. My sister watched me, confusion giving way to something sharper. So what? She said. You're kicking me out now. I turned and faced her fully. I'm changing the terms, I said. You have 30 days to make other arrangements. Her face drained of color. You can't be serious. I am, I said. And this isn't about punishment, it's about safety. My mother laughed once, short and disbelieving. You're choosing drama. I'm choosing my child, I said. Silence fell again, different this time. Not shocked, assessing. Later, after my mother left in a cloud of disapproval, and my sister retreated to the guest room with her phone, clutched like a weapon, I sat on the edge of my son's bed. He was very quiet. I didn't mean to cause trouble, he said finally. My chest tightened. You didn't, I said. And if anyone ever tells you that again, they're wrong. He nodded, but his eyes stayed on the blanket. Is it bad that I don't have a dad? No, I said immediately. It's different. Different isn't bad. He considered that. Auntie was mad. She was careless, I said. And sometimes grown-ups confuse those things. He leaned into me then, resting his head against my shoulder. I held him until his breathing evened out. The next few days were tense in the way unresolved things always are. My sister alternated between silence and sharpness. My mother sent long texts about forgiveness and family unity that never mentioned my son. I didn't engage. On day 3, I emailed my sister a written notice, clear, unemotional, with dates and expectations. Authority has a way of settling arguments words cannot. She accused me of betrayal, of choosing sides. I did, I said, when she confronted me in the kitchen. And it's the side that depends on me. She left the room without responding. 30 days passed faster than I expected. Boxes appeared, then disappeared. The guest room returned to its old shape. On her last night, my sister lingered by the door. "I didn't think you'd really do it," she said. "I know," I replied. She waited, maybe for regret, maybe for reassurance. "I hope you land on your feet," I said. "I really do." She nodded, eyes shiny, and left. My mother didn't speak to me for weeks after that. When she did, her tone was careful, as if I'd become something she had to navigate around. That was fine. What mattered was the quiet that returned to the house. The way my son spread out again. The way he sang to himself while brushing his teeth. The way he stopped asking before doing things that were already his. One night, as I tucked him in, he said, "You didn't let her be mean." "I didn't," I said. He smiled sleepily. "Thanks. I don't feel triumphant about what happened. I feel resolved. Some lines only reveal themselves when they're crossed. Some silences cost too much to maintain. I didn't win an argument that night. I kept a promise to a child who needed to know, without question, that his home was a place where he would always be defended.